Hey, what's going on, folks? Bienvenue. My name is Wade, and this is Sabine River Valley. Well, today's video is going to be me cutting our back pasture, and I've kind of let it grow up over the end of the summer. I didn't do a final cut on it, and it's good and tall out there. But we had an issue. Well, I mean, it's not really an issue. We had a lot of rain yesterday. So, and we've actually had a good bit over the past week, but we had a lot of rain yesterday. Now, I live in East Texas, and we have what's called sandy loam out here. If you walk through our house and lift up the rug, you're going to find sand everywhere. It's like the beach. So, even though it rained yesterday, the sun has been out and the ground is pretty much dry. The grass is not, though. The ground is dry, the grass is not. Well, that's going to cause some issues with our flail mower. So there's been something that I've talked about in a few videos that we're going to do with this thing, and hopefully it's going to make it easier for this tractor to mow this grass out here. And what we're going to do is right here on the flail mower, we're going to raise this back gate, this rear gate. We're going to raise that up, and then we're going to bolt it in up, and we're going to cut like that. So what it's going to do is, instead of trying to mulch inside this chamber, keep throwing the material around and around and mulching it up, it's just going to hopefully do one cut and throw it out the back. And if that works that way, then it's going to be much more like a rotary cutter, something like that, where, you know, it's just a kind of pretty much a cut once and get rid of it. And so if that does work, what it'll do is it'll be a lot less stress on the engine, on the tractor, right, on the PTO coming out. And we should be able to cut this hopefully pretty easily. But we'll see. We'll get in here and we'll see if she still bogs down. I guarantee that she would bog down in a lot of different places out there. And I'll show you some of those when we get there where I know that she would bog down at. And we'll see how this with the rear gate handles it. So let me get the bolts out of here, flipped up, bolted back together. I'm going to put a little bit of grease in the mower, and then we'll get out there. So here is what she looks like with the gate bolted up. And you got a good clear view of the blades. These are the hammer blades. So let's jump in her and see what she does. Let's see where we are at. All right, we're gonna do medium, and we're gonna do third gear. Let's go to medium 1. We'll speed up in just a second after we get started. All right, so PTO. Yep, she's spinning. Bring her up to 540 speed. All right. Brake is off. Let's go. Cutting. She's doing a good job cutting. This is real thin though right now. I'm right on the edge. We'll get out in this thicker stuff here in just a minute. some thicker stuff. You can see that out front. This stuff is high. It's real sparse. So, but it's a good height. So far, this has been really easy. She hadn't bogged down or anything. We did go through one area back there that's pretty wet, but there was no issue there or anything. We'll get into some wetter stuff right over here. The cut don't look bad. All right, I'm gonna line her back up, and then we're gonna speed up a little. Sit her down. We're going to move over to medium 3, which is about 5 miles an hour. So, all right. Bring that up a little. All right, let's go. Now I've got a camera back there I gotta watch. It's hanging off the mower in a weird way. I'm trying to get some cool shots. So we'll just watch that. If it does fall off, I think it'll fall behind the mower, so I don't think it'll chop it up. So we just went through a spot that's wet, and here we're going to go through another one right here. and that would have dragged us down with it closed. It didn't do it at all. All right, we're going to go through some thicker stuff here. Get her back up and going. I'm going to slow her down through here. Bring her out here. I'll do it on this side because I can bring the mower out. There she is. Get under this brush a little bit. cleaned out around it, the edge. I'm going to bring this back over. Now, go this way. So the mower, when it's all the way over to my left, it's lined up right with the wheel. So I know I can stay on the, as long as my wheel is over on that edge, then I'm not gonna miss. You know, I'm not gonna miss a few inches or anything. It'll cut everything. But it sticks out further on that end. And so, make it a mess. So when I want to get close, I'll move it out that way, cut that direction once, and then move it back and then start over again. And this area that I'm cutting around right now is eventually what I want to be my pond. So I want to come in and clear this out and dig it out. And if I do, it'll be on video. We'll record that. All right, so we got a lot cut. Probably 8 acres, maybe, something like that. But, I mean, it was pouring down rain yesterday. We got a couple inches, and I didn't know if it was going to be possible or not. So let me show you where the super thicker stuff would have been. Again, right here, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but this, it pulls up right here. Like we're walking down into this, and this is probably 2 foot, 3 foot from over here. I know you really can't get a good sense of that, but this is, the water it'll actually, when it's raining really hard, it'll pool up right here, and it'll look like just a mini pond right out here. But then a couple hours after it's rained, or after it stops, it just sinks all into the ground because of the sandy loam. We have after a few feet, we have red clay, really good clay under there, but the water just kind of goes away, disappears on top of the ground here. But anytime I would bring the tractor through this, when I have that gate down, and it could have been, it could have not rained for a week, but the grass would still be wet in here. It would bring the RPMs way down on that thing. I'd have to put it into a much lower gear and go slower while I'm cutting through this area. Well, with this, I never slowed down, never once. And through here, I never had any issues. Now, we were back in the back there, and there is another area sort of like this back there that has, it's a swell that side of the property where that water kind of comes down, and they all meet. I was telling you about the area back here in this grove of trees that I want to clear out and make a pond. They all meet back there and then flow out of our property. Well, back in that area, it was really, really, really wet. The grass was, and a lot thicker, a lot taller, and it brought the RPMs down it got down to 1900 once. So I run at 2200. That's my 540 RPM. Well, it brought it down to 1900 once, but most of the time, if it was bringing it down, it'd bring it down to about 2000 and then go back up. But the mower's still cutting just fine when it does that. So, but I mean, it did it like, if you look at it, I mean, it looks great. It doesn't look bad out here. The cuttings are longer, definitely. I'm gonna grab some of this. I got to be real careful because of the sandburrs in here. But the grass is the cuttings are a little longer, but it still did a really good job. It might even be mulching just a little bit. I said one cut and throw it out, but there might be just a quick mulch, real quick, because as fast as those teeth are going around, right, that it catches it. So, I mean, still looks great. So if you've got a flail mower, if you're looking for a flail mower, first of all, to buy, I would highly recommend looking at something with a rear gate. If it doesn't have a rear gate on it, I don't know that. I've got one that doesn't have a rear gate, and it's a real small one though. It's a small 48 inch, and I'm not doing this with it. I'm doing not lawn stuff, but as close as you can get to it without being a lawn type cut with it. And that's fine. But when I'm out here cutting, I'm using one of these. If you want something that's kind of versatile, right? Versatile. And if it's wet, it can still cut through that. Look for one with a rear gate. That's what you want. You want one with the rear gate on it. because you can mulch with it. You can cut like a normal flail mower, or you can raise this gate up, right? And lock it up like this, and then cut with it and still get a very good cut, but you're able to get through that thick stuff. So this is the Victory FMHD, and it's an H now because we put the hydraulic kit on it so that we can do the side shift hydraulically. But this one, you know, definitely has the rear gate on it. A lot of their models, a lot of the Victory models have a rear gate on it. And I know they've got a bunch of sales going on right now, but if you use the link in this video, it's my affiliate link, and I make a little bit of money off of that. But yeah, I make like a little bit, but you save money using it. So it's like a 5% discount. So if they're having a sale, then you'll get that sale price plus my 5% off through the affiliate link. So if you're looking for something like this, use that link, and you don't have to buy just that product. Just use that link to get there, and then you can buy anything on Victory's website that you're interested in, and you'll get that discount. So yeah, well, she did a great job. And it just one more thing that, you know, I can do with this mower that just makes it a great mower to have for a tractor. But anyway, all right, well, look, I really appreciate y'all watching, and Lord willing, I will see y'all on the next one.